Crazy Joe, but now they can call me Batman.
What up? Welcome back to the Necro Zoo. I am Bones. And in this one, let's add another Superman figure to my McFarlane DC Multiverse collection. Now this time it will be Superman in the Rebirth costume. Now pretty much this is like a repaint of the Bizarro body and the infected Superman body, but added to make it look a little bit more like the Rebirth costume. There's some pros and cons with this figure. He does look pretty heroic in the packaging, but let's go ahead and take a look at him. But first, he does come with your standard black DC Multiverse stand. Not really needed, but sometimes useful. He does come with a data file card. On the front there, you do have some figure photography, and on the back, you do have some information. Add this to the collection. Now, this figure is basically what everybody was clamoring for, which was to use that Bizarro infected Superman body buck to make a regular Superman. But I think people got a little bit more than they bargained for because of some of the choices that McFarlane made. But let's go ahead and take a look at him and see my thoughts on this guy. Straight off, really cool looking Superman. They did use a little bit more metallic shiny paint on this same Superman shield from the infected Superman, but it is not the same as the original Superman release, the Superman 1000. That shield is just a bigger, wider shield. This one is the smaller one. I think they could have used that other shield and it would have just made this figure stand out a little bit more with that wider shield, because this chest is a little bit broader, but that's one choice that they made. So let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. Now, this is a reuse of the Superman 1000 head, but they did actually add a little bit more paint on this one. Maybe some would even say excessive paint, because they really darkened around the eyes, which makes them look like a little bit more sunken in. Actually, when you get him in hand, it's not that bad. He has a lot of also like on the cheeks, a lot of paint, but making him look like a little bit more gaunt. But it's not too bad. I thought I was not gonna like it as much in person. It looks a little bit better, and he does have a little bit of blue in that hair, and the hair is actually a nice satin finish, where it's glossy but not too shiny looking like plastic. So actually the head's really, really nice. He does look up exceptionally well for flight poses. He does look down. You get the left to right, and then you can tilt his head for some attitude. Either way, left to right. Pretty awesome looking head sculpt. I mean, it's the same one, but they did add a little bit of touches on it. Let's go ahead and look down. Like I said before, they reused the shield from the infected Superman. They just repainted it in a glossier metallic finish. The body buck you could see is the same. It's a more bulkier, it's just a more muscular look than the original slimmer bulk that they used on the Superman 1000. But has awesome broad chest. Really transitions well down into the lower abdomen. He does have the great articulation. Rock them, twist them, turn them. You can also twist them for some cool poses. And then he does lean forward and he does lean back. Pretty smooth use of this body buck. Now let's check out the arm. He does come with that butterfly shoulder joint, a bicep swivel that works really well. He does have finally the double jointed elbows. And then it transitions into a big fist. Now, when I say big fist, I mean big fist. They obviously used the same fists that were for Bizarro and the infected Superman. And I have to say they're a little bit too big. Like if you put them next to his head, it's the talk about your fist being the size of your head. These are really big. I don't know if it'll look better with a smaller fist, but when I do customize this guy, we'll check it out. Going down into the trunks, it has those pretty cool Rebirth trunks, and then his thigh swivel is there. Now you can cock out his leg and give him those double jointed knees. And then he does have at the ankle up and down, left to right. You can rock it to give the ankle more range of movement. And then he does have toe articulation. Pretty sweet. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is these horrible paint lines that they did above the boot. Now they could have done two things, which I think would have just made it a lot better. They either could have just followed the trim of the boot or painted in that whole scope, the scope line of red, or they could have just left it blank like they did in the Red Sun Superman. If you look at that figure, they didn't add any trim to the boots and it looks clean. And these lines just, really take away from this figure, even though it's a pretty nice figure. Just unsightly looking lines there. I'd like to know who made that decision at McFarlane. Pretty dumb. They could have just went with no paint and saved the money on that paint line, and then it would have looked a lot cleaner, the transition. But oh well. Let's take a look at them from the bottom. No tread. Going up, same basic sculpt work as the figures that used this buck before. And on the back, you do not have the yellow S, so that's a bummer. Now let's take out the fist, and I do have an alternate fist here. It's not gonna fit, but this is just for show purposes. But it's kind of a little bit small. I would really like just a little bit bigger fist than this. So I might have to dig deep into the extra hands that I have to find a medium fist. Not so small, but not so big. But we'll see how it goes when I actually repaint this guy, which I am going to do. I did switch out the hands, both hands, so you could see how it looks with smaller hands. I don't know, what do you guys think? Does it look better with those smaller hands or with this big Hulk punching fist that he has here? Pretty big fists. Pretty interesting. Now, I do own the Mattel Rebirth Superman, and actually I have two of these. And see, what they did is they pretty much they just colored the line in. They didn't sculpt anything on the boots. And there's also another release, I think it's DC Collectibles of the Rebirth, where they did the same thing. They just left it smooth and then painted in the red line. But I'm thinking of different things I'm going to do. But when I do it, I'll make a video and show you guys how I customize this guy to make him look a little bit better. Now, before we go, let's take a look at him next to the two figures that he's uses parts from, which is the Superman 1000. Beautiful, beautiful Superman figure. I know some people don't like the lean, like more leaner look, but I kind of like it because Superman and Batman, you never really want them like overly muscled. I mean, I like a muscled superhero, but sometimes I just like a leaner physique, like not so bulky and more cut up. But let's take a look at him also next to the Bizarro Superman, which is basically the body that he uses. Now the shield is different on here because it's reversed. That shield is more like the infected Superman shield, but you get the idea. And then let's take a look at him next to my ultimate Superman custom that I made, where I actually used the infected Superman body, but I changed the shield out from the Superman 1000 and then painted him a more traditional blue for Superman, added the two fists, added the yellow S in the back. Like, I just did a whole complete awesome, you could check out the video on my channel. But pretty nice figure. I will be adding him to the collection. After I customize this one, I have two more coming. One to keep unopened in my mint inbox collection, and one to add to the regular basic shelf. So once I do that, I'll make a video on it. But you guys Keep hunting out there, keep collecting, keep customizing, and I will see you on the next one.